Hello everyone, my name is Saba and I will be your yoga and meditation guide today. Today's practice is a continuation of the practice from a previous few days where we worked on the hips. Most of such postures were focused on standing postures that allow for us to open up our hips. So this practice of today's is part 2 of the same practice. And I request you to follow the link in the description and see if you have time to practice that first part before and then jump onto the second one. If not, then absolutely all right. If you don't have enough time, then this can be done on its own as well and is wonderful to open up the hips and relieve that stiffness from the lower back and the hips. So when you're ready, let's get started. For today's practice, you may need a blanket and a block as well. So just play with these props and see how the practice go. You may or may not need them. Most postures today will be done seated. So we are going to do seated postures. For some of us, it's okay to be able to sit on our hips. If this is making you uncomfortable to sit on the ground, grab a blanket and rest the blanket under your hips. Here, sit in any comfortable position to begin with. Close your eyes. Ground down through the hips. Let the hips and the knees become heavy. Gently pull the belly ever so slightly in toward the spine. Puff up through the chest. Tuck the chin towards the neck and lengthen through the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths here. Hands that are resting on your knees can be in Jnana Mudra, the seal of the wisdom, really allowing you to ground down, be present in your body, be present in your practice. Deep breaths into the belly. And as you exhale, gently pull the belly back in towards the spine. If it is part of your practice, engaging Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath, as you go along in your practice for today. Remind yourself you're here, you're present, you're ready. You're here, you're present, you're ready. One more deep breath. You're here, you are present, you are ready. Continuing to breathe deeply into your belly, into your chest. And allow your breath to really bring yourself to your mat. It is really important to allow the body and the mind to find that connection with themselves so you can really reap the benefits of your practice. So these initial few seconds to ground down through the body and the mind are absolutely essential and much needed, especially these days. With the next inhalation, softly open your eyes. We will start with Padmasana, the lotus. Lotus is a wonderful posture to open up the hips, but not really the easiest posture to do so. So I invite you to go step by step, and today we will start with Ardha Padmasana, the half lotus first. So let's start with the right foot, and the left heel is in towards the perineum, closer towards the pelvis. Now we start with the right foot. Take the right foot and rest the right foot on your left thigh. As you rest this on the thigh, for some of us it is possible to let the foot be up there and sit comfortably. For others, you may have to hold the leg in that position. You can do so. Now, for others, as we keep the right foot on the left thigh, you may notice that the right knee comes up. So then quickly grab a cushion or a block and slide that under your right knee. So I invite you to explore where your body is today and adjust the posture according to where you are. There is no right or wrong way to do a posture. The most important thing is to listen to your body. Do the practice, do the postures safely, listening to your own body, and that way we keep ourselves safe. So choose the block or no block, and once you've figured out where you are, stay here, hands on the knees, and if the foot is sliding down, then you can also sometimes, especially for those who are getting used to, the strap comes in handy as well. So what you can do is you grab a yoga strap, put that strap on your right foot, and give ends of that strap towards the left side. Wrap that right arm around your back and give the strap to the right hand behind you. Gently tug on that strap and use that bind to keep the right foot on the left thigh. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Focusing on the right hip, inviting length, inviting openness, releasing tightness, releasing tension from the right hip. The ankles are stretching, especially the right ankle in this moment. Right knee, right side of your hip, right side of your lower back. They're deeply benefiting from this posture. Now you can pause here and spend a few breaths here. If you like, you can take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, leading with your chest, start to fold forward. So keep that bind taut. And if the bind is not serving you well, then you are welcome to let go of the bind or just continue to hold on to the strap. As you exhale, leading with the chest, use your left arm as your support and see if you can bring the forehead down towards the mat. Then it becomes suddenly a deeper stretch. Now, if you cannot fold forward all the way down, then again, grab your block. And it is always helpful in the practice to have 2 yoga blocks. They're extremely inexpensive and can be found anywhere, Target, Walmart, Amazon, anywhere. So I really, really recommend you buy yourself 2 yoga blocks and 1 yoga strap. Pausing here, inhale, lift yourself again. And as you exhale, lower yourself on the block. Choose the height of the block that works for you. And just stay here. After you have taken a few breaths here, you may notice that the body is opening up and you can go deeper in your posture. So you can go ahead and adjust the height of the block. Just stay, deep breaths. Let that right side of the body open up. Feel that right heel gently dig into your abdomen, massaging the viscera, massaging the internal organs, firing up that digestive system and the eliminatory system. Extending the left hand forward, press into your hand, head up and inhale all the way up. Release the bind, release the strap, and release the right foot to the mat. You can neutralize the body by extending both the legs out towards the front, letting the back of the legs stretch and open up, and then let's do it on the other side. So we start with the right leg first, bring the right heel in towards the perineum, and take the left foot on the right thigh this time. Gently pressing that left knee down towards the mat again. If you need to rest the block under your left knee, then go ahead and do that. If you need to wrap the strap around and sometimes you can make a loop with your strap. So just put a loop on your sole, on your foot, tighten that loop around your foot. And give that strap to the left hand wrapped around your back, just gently tugging onto that, helping the foot stay in that position. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, leading with the chest, gently fold forward. You decide where you want to go in your fold. Maybe the right hand is in the front on the mat, helping you release in your forward fold. On the mat, on the block, and choosing the height of the block as you fold forward. Whatever works for you, do that. Just that. If folding forward doesn't feel right, then just stay seated in your Ardha Padmasana, the half lotus. Deep breaths. Hip openers work when we give them a little bit more time. We hold them for just a little bit longer. Just breathe into that space. Breathe into the left side now, the left ankle, left knee, left hip, left side of your lower back. Really give in towards the mat with your shoulders, with the crown of your head. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, head up, and then the rest of the spine up. So when you're ready, release the strap. Keep the strap aside. Keep your block aside. And then when you're ready, you can straighten both the legs out towards the front. For the next one, as we go to the second posture, remove the block or the blanket from under your hips. Legs are straight. Moving to second posture, Malasana, the garland posture. In Malasana, the squat, we bring the feet closer and bring the arms forward. Now it looks like it's a simple posture, but for a lot of people, especially for a Western body, squat and even the lotus are quite challenging. As we spend more and more time sitting on a chair and not really finding these opportunities where we are able to sit on the ground, then we find that the ankles are becoming tight. We face challenges with our feet. The hips are tight. So squat is a wonderful opportunity to invite flexibility and strength to the ankles, to the knees, and to the hip joints. So let's get started. I will show you several variations of how to hold the squat. One, we would want to be able to see if the heels are touching the ground and arms come off the inside. Toes are slightly turned outward around 45-degree angle and hands are resting towards the mat. Just by sitting in this position, you are doing wonders for the health of your lower back and hips. Now, this may seem simple, but it requires a lot. So if that's not a possibility today, then grab a blanket and slide that blanket under your heels. For some of us, that also is not enough. So what you can do is, and if you tend to stay high on your arches in your squat, then fold the blanket a little bit more or grab 2 thick cushions or 2 thick blocks and slide them under your heels, giving you more lift and you are more comfortable. So this is option 2. Let's say it is still difficult, you're still not able to hold your squat. What can be done? Then remove the bolster or the blanket from under your hips, grab a block and just slide that block under your hips and sit on a block. Then try to see if you can move your feet slightly away from the body and rest your feet on the mat. So just try and adjust yourself on that block. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, rest your hands towards the inside of your legs. Inhale, pause again, and exhale, start to fold forward towards the body, with the body towards the ground. Deep breaths here. So, blanket under your heels or a block under your hips or your heels. Choose which variation works for you. And once you have found that, just stay here, spend some time here, move from side to side, giving some space to your pelvis. Again, pause, inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, lift up. Now here, right hand on the right knee, left hand stays towards the front, and just gently pry the right knee open, straightening the right arm and turning the gaze up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths here. Exhale, release. Right hand on the mat, left hand on the knee. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, pry that left knee away from the body. Twist the upper body towards the left side, gaze up towards the ceiling. You can do this sitting on a block. You can do this with a blanket under your heels. Just letting those hips open up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And exhale, release, let go. Bring the hips down to the mat. That feels great for the hips. Now, moving into our third posture. This is the butterfly or Baddha asana. Sometimes it is known as the cobbler's posture. Sometimes it's known as the butterfly or the bound ankle posture. Whichever name you call it with, it still is a wonderful posture for the hips. So the goal is to bring the soles of the feet together. And for some of us, it's possible to bring the heels all the way in towards the perineum. While for others, it would be the heels are slightly away from the body. So really, wherever you are comfortable, wherever you are, find that Take a deep breath again in. And as you breathe out, holding onto the big toes, using them as your hooks, as your anchors with the upper body, release down as you breathe out. Lengthening through the spine, exhaling, folding forward. Just letting the hips open up here. Keep breathing, keep holding. For those where the forehead is not closer towards the mat, no worries, just grab your block and spread your arms forward, rest your forehead on the block. Let your body rest. The gravity will do its magic, the gravity will do its work. Only you will have to give permission to your body. So in this moment, give permission to your hips and your legs to open up, relax and surrender. Just relaxing, breathing into the space. Inhale, lift the head up, and then the rest of the spine up. Straightening the legs out towards the front. Just take a moment. Move the legs, bending the knees one at a time, bringing movement, circulation back to your legs. One final posture for today's practice of yoga for hips, part 2, is the fire log or the Agni Stambha asana. Here we start with the right side. Now here we are stacking our shins like two pieces of log for the fire. So our goal is to bring, I'm going to move to the yellow mat so it's easier for you to see. Right knee is in line with the left ankle. Now take the same thing, do with the same thing with the left. Like what you're going to do is rest the left ankle on the right knee and bring the left knee on top of the right foot. Now, for some, it'll be difficult to bring the left knee on top of the right foot. So what you can do is grab a blanket and slide the blanket between the upper knee and the lower foot. If the blanket's not going to cut it, then grab a block and slide the block between the two. So you decide what works for you. The only thing is we want to be able to draw a straight line from the knee to the ankle, left leg, from knee to ankle, right leg. Take a deep breath in. If you like, you can rest your elbows slightly, with slight pressure. You're not torturing yourself here. You're not punishing yourself. You're trying to enjoy the postures. So gentle pressure with your arms onto your upper leg. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, relax the head, relax the neck. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. Let the left hip open up. After you have taken about 3 to 5 breaths here, see if your body is giving you permission to go deeper and maybe fold forward so that the upper body is trying to come closer towards the mat. This may be a possibility, may not be a possibility for you. I invite you to just be happy and content with where you are, and you, I know, are feeling the stretch on the right hip, on the right thigh, and the right leg. So you know you're doing wonders for the body. Just hang in there, deep breaths, and choose to do the variation where you feel at ease, you feel that you are able to breathe, you're able to relax. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift the head up, press into your hands gently. Hold the left foot and release the left foot down towards the mat, straightening the legs out. Once again, bend the knees, shake the legs, and let's do it on the other side. So separate the legs ever so slightly. We will start with the left leg first. So this time, left leg under, left knee in line with the left foot, right knee on top of the left foot, and the right foot on top of the left knee. So you're just stacking your shins one on top of the other. Same thing. Now this side may feel more restricted or more open than the first side. So treat this side independently. It doesn't matter what you did on the other side or you did not do. If you can, grab a blanket and slide it between your right knee and the left foot. If it's a lot of difference and the blanket is not cutting it, then you can grab a block and slide the block between the two. It's totally up to you. Make sure you're comfortable on your sit bones. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just gently press down with your elbows onto the upper leg. This time we have the right leg on top. You're feeling that stretch on the right hip, on the right side of your body. Just deep breaths into that space. I promised that we will work on the hips, invite flexibility and openness to the hips, and this is doing it. So keep there, keep hanging out here, keep breathing into this space. Breathe through the discomfort. Mind you, this discomfort is mild. This discomfort is not excruciating. If it is, you're doing something that the body is not ready to do, and this is your cue to come out of the posture. Or adjust or use your props as needed. If you are able to hang out here and would want to go just a little bit deeper, then you can go ahead and do that. Deep breath in, prepare yourself, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, lower down so that the forearms are in front of the shins and you're releasing down with your forehead towards the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Present your hands, inhale, lift the head up and come back up. Straightening the legs out on the mat. How wonderful the legs feel. Just bending the knees one at a time and relax. Final posture in the sequence for Yoga for Hips Part 2, and after that we will move on to Part 3 in the next video. We'll go into the Sankatasana or the dangerous posture. So here what we will do is start with the right side again. Take the right foot to the outside of the left hip so that you're making a triangle with the right leg. The right knee is towards the center in line with your midline, and then take the left foot, keep it to the outside of the right hip. Both the feet are on the outside of the hips. You're not sitting on your heels. You're not off balance from any of your sides, left side or the right side. You're sitting comfortably on your sit bones, and the heels are closer towards the body, but you're not sitting on them. So our goal is to align one knee on top of the other again. If the knees are too far apart, or even if the knees are somewhere here, so it will be difficult to align the knees at the beginning with each other. So let's say that the knees are not here, then I invite you to just be comfortable here and hold your posture here, just holding it like that, and maybe supporting the upper knee with a block. This is more than enough. This is plenty. If you want, you can even use your blanket and rest your left foot on the blanket. So make this posture as accessible for you as possible. Let's say that you are able to go into the full variation. If you're using the props, hang in there. Use your props, stay there. Holding on to the big toes, lengthen through the spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, leading with the chest, start to fold forward. Don't be in a hurry to come down. Pause to take several breaths. And with each exhalation, travel down just a little bit closer towards the mat. Inhale, pause again. Grounding down through the pelvis, lengthening through the spine. And as you exhale, fold. Pause again. Inhale, fill yourself up. Exhale, release. Pause again. Fill yourself up. And exhale, release all the way down. So find where you are with your upper body, wherever you are able to rest and relax here. Again, if you need a block, then just grab a block and slide that block under your forehead. Breathing into that left hip. The left leg is on top, so left leg is stretching and opening up. Deep breaths into that space. Inhale, head up, and then the rest of the spine up. Gently open the legs out. We will do with this on the other side as well. So take with the left foot first to the outside of the right hip. Now the right foot to the outside of the left hip. Jiggle and wiggle to make sure that the sits bones are on the mat. The knees are in line. If the knees are not in line, what can you do to make yourself comfortable? So make yourself comfortable with all your props. Block under the right knee, blanket under the right foot, or wherever, however you think you are able to use the props to make yourself comfortable, do that. With the props, find the comfortable position for yourself and just hold that position. Let that right hip open up. If you are able to sit with the knees aligned, and mind you, if you are able to do that, only go further then. Inhale, pause, fill yourself up. And as you exhale, again, taking 3 to 5 breaths to go all the way down into the full expression of the posture. Traveling down on your exhalations. On your inhalations, you just pause and fill yourself up. Inhale, pause. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pause. Exhale, lower. And just stay here. Notice how the right side is feeling different than the left. Do you feel more open? Do you feel more restricted, more tight? We are not going to judge the body today. We are just going to observe, notice where we are, notice where the body is. Keep lengthening. The work is not done yet. With each exhalation, you're still traveling down. You're still lengthening through the spine, surrendering through the head and the neck. Relax through the shoulders and the arms. Deep breaths. Feel free to use your block and slide that under your forehead if need be. Inhale, lift the head up and all the way up. Release your big toes. Stretch your legs out towards the front again. Bend the knees a few times, relax, and then come to a seated position. If you have time, lay down on your mat for a few breaths in Shavasana. Breathe here. Whether you're sitting or you're laying down on your mat. Last part of the practice where we again pause to meditate, to connect with the breath. Feel happy and accomplished to be able to take this time out for yourself. Your back and your hips will be thankful, especially towards the end of the day where you don't feel as tired, where you don't feel as stiff and heavy in the back and the hips. So feel good about that. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you want and can come out when you're ready. Ending the class with 3 full breaths together. Inhale, lift the arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, open, expand. Exhale, close. One more full deep breath. Inhale, expand. Exhale, surrender. I bow down to the goodness in you, the universe that dwells in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for practicing with me today. Please, while you're here, subscribe to my channel so you can keep getting constant updates whenever I'm adding new videos. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this practice. Let me know what are the challenges that you faced while you were doing this, and if you had any questions about any of these postures that we did today. Very soon I'm going to be uploading Yoga for Hips Part 3, so keep a lookout for that. Remember, stay healthy, stay happy, help someone in need today. Thank you.